Hey folks, Tracy here with Scrappy's Rustics. Y'all, meet Persephone, IOD Summer Collection 2024. That mold is a beast. We used fast cast resin, which is the stuff that sets up quickly. Pentart Heavy Body Gel Glossy Black. We used some Pentart waxes. We used a clear wax and the Umbra Antique Paste. And we also use the IOD stamp, Kindest Regards. Y'all, it's a love letter. It's an excellent background. We imprinted that in some clay, and we used the color Restoration from Wise Owl. The piece that we are using, we created it in our private group. The whole project did not come out as planned, so the one part we really wanted to learn is how to kind of make that on the left-hand side where the clay is imprinted with the Kindest Regards stamp, and it's peeled back as though it's old and aged. The other part didn't come out so well. So you could still see the raised stencil, so I tried to cover it and fill in the holes a bit here and there with the Heavy Body Gel Gloss and let that dry just to take the image away. So I gave Persephone 2 coats of the Restoration. Look how beautiful. That alone by itself looks amazing. It looks like concrete to me. It's just a beautiful, beautiful mold. I can't wait to use it with some air dry clay and really make it look old. This is the Rust Effects Kit by Pentart. I can special order this. All you have to do, any Pentart products you see that I do not have on my website, just message me. The turnaround time is really good. So I can pretty much get you anything I could be your Pentart dealer. I could be your Pentart dealer. So I'm just gonna, I don't really want it to look rusty, but I wanted to make it look old, and I want everything to jive with the air dry clay part. We're not going to mess with that. Now that is 3D powder that comes with your kit. It also is sold in a bottle, and basically it's kind of like sand. It just gives your paint or whatever you want to use it with just some grit and texture. It's kind of cool. You can use a lot. You can use a little bit. I do believe that is the medium, and I think it comes in, I don't know what it's called. The grit for that is medium, and I know there's one that is more gritty, but I don't really know what the proper name of that is. I don't even know if I've seen it, but I know they do make it, but I don't know if I've seen it in person. I don't think I have. So my Heavy Body Gel Black was very glossy, so I wanted to knock that down. I wanted this piece to be very matte and mute and look like an old world piece. Piece. So I just went here and there. I went through most of the colors in the kit. Like I said, I wasn't going for a full-fledged rusty look, but more of kind of, just an old look. So with these, there's really no rhyme or reason. You kind of just want to blend your colors and try to imagine in your head what an old piece would look like through time. It's been out in the weather and whatnot. In the end, you end up kind of blending them all together. Sometimes I struggle with this myself, and you think you're overdoing it, but someone else comes in and says, wow, that looks great, but you've got your eye overthinking it. Is really, you got to just kind of relax and let your head down and just do it and trust the process. So I end up going back and forth with these colors, and I ended up sprinkling the 3D powder on the piece itself. I probably shouldn't have done that because I had to go over the entire piece. First, I went over it with water, you'll see in the end, which actually worked out great to blend everything in. However, the 3D powder didn't dissolve or anything. So I ended up in the end just going over the entire piece with the first color. I started with very, very light hand dry brush over it, and that got rid of any of the 3D powder that was still visible. So it wasn't a terrible idea. So now I'm just wetting my brush, and I just want to blend all these colors together just to soften them up a little bit. And what ends up really softening them is when I go over the dry brush, which I was really trying to just cover up the 3D powder balls that were still, you could still see them because they didn't really have paint on them. And y'all, in the process, I was showing you soap bubbles. I guess I didn't get all the soap out of my paintbrush, and it was dawn, and it was bubbling up on my project. I was cracking up. I was like, what the heck is that? Y'all, I made bubbles. It didn't hurt the project at all. So I'm using the Pentart Clear Wax. Any type of paints that don't have a top coat in them, chalk paints, mineral paints, that kind of stuff, clay-based paints, they're very porous. So if you go to put a decor wax on them, the decor wax is just going to get sucked up into your paint, and you're going to have a hard time moving it around. If you cover your piece with clear wax, it's going to allow you to wipe that darkness back. Now, in this case, I really want that dark to sit in all these really low spaces because her hair is magnificent. And for the darkness to sit in there, it's going to look amazing. It's going to truly look like an old piece, and that's what I want. So I'm not going down deep with my wax. I'm going on the top of her hair, all the raised parts. But the face, the neck, doesn't have a lot of texture in it, but we can create it to look like it has texture by using this dark wax. And use the clear first. It will make your life a lot easier. And always remember, first try wiping this back with a dry rag. If that doesn't take off enough, then use a baby wipe or something damp, and that will take off more. So I'm really pushing that product down because these grooves are pretty deep. I mean, this piece is pretty impressive. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't think that's for me. But then I got the mold and I was like, whoa, man, that's really cool. It's a large piece. And I do see a lot of different things being used for this in the future. You're going to see many, many different ways this is going to be used. But overall, it's pretty neat. So, again, I'm just pushing that product down. You want to work in sections because you don't want it to dry and get away from you. And you may not like it. And you might want to change, should I go heavier for the rest or lighter or switch colors? So work in sections so you have control over it. And look at that. I mean, that really makes the detail pop. I mean, a lot. And when you have, because this is resin is very smooth and, seamless in a sense, where air dry clay, I can't wait to use that because that's going to crack and have divots. It's going to be great. If it's a flat surface and it doesn't have a lot of texture for the dark wax to grab onto, you can kind of create your own by using different dabbing techniques. When you wipe it off, don't wipe as hard in some areas. And you'll see within this, where I darken, I give her like shadow just to give her some more depth. And this is something you just have to get in there and do. There's always the ugly stage. You just have to trust the process. If you have molds that you're not going to use, or you goofed up and you can't use them on a piece, save them. Practice on them. Use try different colors and different combinations, because you may not always know when you get a product, you want to use this, and in your mind you think these two colors would look great together, but you're not sure. Practice on your piece first, so that way you go into your, look how cool that looks. You go into your project with confidence, and you feel good, like these colors do look good together, or if they don't, you can switch them up. So here's where I'm just doing a little bit of highlighting, as if the sun is casting down on her, from one angle, going under her chin, her hairline, her neck, two parts in her neck, and I really think that just adds to it. You could add some metallic waxes to highlight points on this, but like I said, I wanted to keep this a flat, muted, just old looking piece overall. And you could add different colors. I mean, it just depends on the look that you're going for overall. This ended up matching the air dry clay piece on the board we're going to put her on perfectly. Like I said, we did that in our private group. And I went to do a raised stencil on the flat part, and it just didn't come out as it should have. So I abandoned the omission, and I just saved the board because I knew one day I would use it for something. So I painted the back so the piece is complete. And I think this is 136 milliliters of resin, so it's a pretty big piece. But look at that. Look at the detail. I mean, the face, the hair, the headband, all of it, her eyes. She is just absolutely gorgeous. Pentar Heavy Body Gel, y'all, is a workhorse. I talk highly about this product. I wouldn't sell you anything that I wouldn't use myself. And if it's junk, I'm not going to use it, and I would tell you it's junk. This stuff is excellent to adhering projects, molds, excellent metal to metal, glass to metal. It also can be used in a shallow fondant mold. When it dries, the mold remains flexible. It can be used for raised mixed media, raised stencils. It comes in matte, it comes in clear matte, it comes in glossy clear. It could be tinted. It's just an amazing product. So you get a lot of bang for your buck with just one product. However, clean your tools as soon as you can. I put those razors there so I knew where I wanted to place her. But clean your tools up, because this stuff, it dries on your tools. It dries like concrete, and you're not getting it off. It does take a minute, or it takes a couple minutes, depends on how big your piece is and what you're putting it to, for it to grab. So just be patient with that. And I would say like 3 to 5 minutes, it's on there. But before I do anything crazy, I'll let it dry overnight. It just depends on the product, but I hope you enjoyed this process. I'm sorry I couldn't show you the back part, but one day I will. But there she is. I hope you like my style, and if you do, I'd love for you to smash that subscription button, turn on a little notification. Y'all never know what kind of video I'm going to come out with. All the products that I did use are listed in the description. Thank you so much. I hope this inspired you in some way, and check out the new IOD collection. Thanks for watching.